Okay, so here we are, Alpha Strike 5.0. It might be my fifth time trying this game. So the Northern Highlanders, I think that's who it is, are attacking the Blue Star Irregulars mercenary group. And basically it's just kill points, try to cripple this side. This little guy here is taking a couple of hits. Let's see if I can focus here. The guy's taking a couple of hits. He's into his superstructure. And that guy's taking a couple of hits. He's got a ways to go. This is the beginning of the movement phase of the second turn has just happened. And yeah, I'm playing Alpha Strike on the maps. Trying to keep it simple this time. We'll see. Yeah, end of turn 3, and we have 2 down. We have my best skill-rated pilots are down, the Warhammer's down, and the Phoenix Hawk are down. So, I don't know. It doesn't matter. 2 points to those guys. Now it's time to see what we're going to do. We have this little guys going after each other. Little gals, actually. I think both pilots are lady, Afonso and Kimberly. So Kimberly is surprise attack Afonso on a jump. And this Phoenix Hawk here was a death from above attack, because that's fun, and kind of gave himself some damage there. I've been doing the multiple die rolls for damage. I didn't know if I should do that for charge attacks. I thought, well, do I just use one attack and then apply the damage? But no, I don't think I should. I think I should keep doing it that way because I can. So, I've been using in rules as written. You roll 1 die if you hit, then you apply all the damage. That's really the way I should be doing it, because that's what Alpha Strike's all about. All the damage. Hit, all the damage. Instead, I use their optional rule where I roll 2 dice per point of damage possible. I did not do that on the death from above or physical attack, and I should have done that, just to add variable damage too. So, although in some ways it's like, I don't know, it's death from above. Seems kind of like an all or nothing thing, but that's that. So I'm enjoying this session here. So we'll see how this goes after turn 4. I've got to backtrack a move here. So I'm going to take the damage off this guy. This person, Kimberly, should have actually, even back here, should have been withdrawing off the table. Now, because you withdraw for several reasons, one of which is if your armor's gone and half your structure is damaged, rounding up. Well, she's half structure damage, so she really should be moving towards the extra. Now, it just says move towards your baseline to exit the table. It does not. It said you do not have to sprint. So I'm thinking, I don't know. You go 1, 2. So it happened on turn 1. So on turn 2, she would have moved back this way. Turn 3 here. So I mean, there's no rush to get it because she can still fire. So I think she would have stayed here, and that would have happened. So she'd be getting ready to go. Now, you don't want to give them the points, so you may want to get off the board this next turn here. So maybe you'd rush off, but maybe you'd start rushing off at this point, and maybe here you would have gone 1, 2, 3 and got off the board. But maybe staying back here to defend your bro may be the way to go. So maybe here for partial cover, but then you're going to move back. You have to move toward your baseline. So you do here for partial cover. And that's it. Sorry, that was just something I just read and noticed. All right, we'll start turn 4. Turn 4, Afonso goes down. Now, Afonso did make a really cool move, came around here, shot this guy who chicken hiding behind here. Level 4, so he can't get hit, so he can survive longer, but he did get shot. Now, he got a critical. He got a 12, but it rolled out a 5, so no critical hit. So it just scared the pilot for a second, but nothing happened. Now, this is the person that's retreating. And I think I'm being gamey with it, but I'm like, every hex is out, going further. I didn't go direct. Didn't say direct. I'll look at it. It's probably direct off. But they're like taking a long way out and shot this person, and that's who took them out. So now there's a disadvantage in numbers. And let's see what happened. This guy backed up, so they're backing up here. And there's only now 2 against 3. So there we go. Let's see what happens. Okay, into turn 5, the blackjack is down. He took 7 hits in one shot. So it's 5. He took 5 hits in one thing, and then I like to roll a critical just to see what happens. So he's down. So we're now down to 1 Atlas against these 2 guys. Now, they're not going to run. You've got to destroy the guy. And so you got to get cracking here. So we're going to see what happens. They've all got a 4. All my high school people are gone, so... And then Kimberly made it off, so she'll survive for the Blue Star regulars. Now these guys, the mech pilots are freaking out, but the contract calls for all people to either retreat or die on the field of battle, so they have to go in for it. We'll see what happens. Turn 6. Into turn 6, all that was happening was some maneuvering. He stayed in the water. He's going around this valley. He's moving over here. He's moving over here. They both sprinted. He's actually down a level, so this is a level 2, so it's covering him. I don't think he's a super... I don't think he's bigger than that. I think he's still a 2. And so, that's interesting. Yeah, he's a 2, so he's covered by this. He can't see him because he's standing right behind that. All right, we'll see what happens. Turn 8. Okay, turn 8. Probably not very smart, but we got to do it. Atlas is taking no hits. Firing commences. Turn 8. I'll come back after it's done. Into turn 8, the Atlas takes 4 damage. He took 3. He will not survive that fight long, and he took 0 because he couldn't fire him. So, what this side needs is for him to have to go first. For the Northern Highlanders Atlas to go first, so that he has to move, make a commitment, and these guys can both move to his rear. That's what would be ideal for them. All right, we'll see what happens. Let's just do the roll now. Gray will be the Northern Highlanders, and green, so they got a 7. Oh, yep, it happened. So the Atlas has to move first. Let's see what he does. I think I know what I'm going to do with him. See it. On turn 8, his armor is gone. He's got 1 armor left. He's got only 2 hits on him, so he's doing okay. Let's see what happens. I need to see what happens. Yeah, anyway, so going to turn 9. See what happens. Okay, into turn... Is that 9 or 10? I don't remember now. I didn't mark it on my board. Atlas kept losing initiative. He moved into the woods to try to get some cover. He fired rear. He did to buy some damage to the Wraith, so it's a bummer. But, man, these guys just are whacking him with 8 hits a turn. Well, or 8 shots or 8 potential damage a turn. Well, this didn't focus on that. So I ended up doing a ton of damage here, a lot of critical hits. 2 of my critical rolls one was an ammo, so that destroyed him, and then I rolled a 12 on a critical hit, so he was destroyed, like double explosion. This thing just blasted out the world. Okay, so, you know, obviously I've given this thing a try a bunch of times. I just can't resist it, and now I'm like, you know what I need to do? I'm trying to take the new motive. I did buy 2 boxes because I wanted to get the new Mercenary box set because it has ground units and some other stuff. That's all I did. I was tempted to buy their maps. I want to play on maps. Do I like the terrain? Sure, it's great, but I like the maps. It keeps it simple. It will limit me. Maybe I can find some maps that people can print up or something. They sell map packs too, so you can hunt for those. And they sell the neoprenes, if you just want more maps. But I'm trying to just not get everything. It's my goal. I think that's part of the problem. I get it, and then I never really play it. So now I'm like, you know what? Let's play it. This wasn't even close to the first scenario, because the first scenario was pretty even simpler. It didn't have water and all that stuff. But it just was, I'm just trying, like, well, you know what? There's a lot here. Try to get all the rules. Start digging in. I'll play the next scenario. I'll do the other scenario. It has buildings, so I don't know what I'm going to do there. I need some building counters and some building chipboards or something like that. So I'm not sure what you call them, but I need to see if someone makes those. You can buy the counter pack for Alpha Strike, but you get more 3D buildings, and those don't fit the maps. So that was enjoyable. Am I going to paint these? I have no idea. Oh, let me knock them down. So the Northern Highlanders got taken out by the mercenaries. The cool thing is, if you play a campaign, you could... Well, here's the thing. I think the Northern Highlanders would get all these mechs because they lost every unit, and so they would get to salvage all of these. Because you really want... So, yeah, you really want to get off the field of battle so you can get your mechs off here. You don't want to be totally destroyed. But I never got that far. I usually destroyed them in a turn and blew past all their armor and stuff. So that's kind of the point of Alpha Strike, is to play it fast. It's faster. I don't know if it's faster. So if you roll 1 hit and then do all your damage, like what would happen is if the Atlas hit, they would do 5 points of damage instead of like maybe 3 or 4. But the problem is you may not hit. Like, if that were the case, I played 10 times, I would have rolled 10 times to hit.
well, I didn't roll every time to hit because there was a couple movements, so maybe, let's say 6 or 7. Well, here I rolled, and I didn't always do 5, but let's do the average. Let's say 4, and I shot 6 times. We'll say 6 times. That's 24 rolls of damage instead of 6 rolls of damage. It's not making sense. But like I said, you roll a pair of dice for each possible point of damage instead of one roll and then applying all the damage. So you're not going to get 5 hits every time, but you are going to get hits and whittle them down. But but if you hit 3 times in a row, then you're going to destroy the unit. So it's a toss-up. I think someone's done the math. You can go see some videos where people have done that. It's just more fun for me per turn. The point of Alpha Strike is to play faster and to play with more units. So you really want to, with 2 people would be easier. I don't know what the limit will be with 1 person, because it is something to keep track of all these things. And especially when they're not painted, but I wouldn't paint them like this anyway. Sorry. You give nice color schemes there. I wouldn't paint them like that necessarily, because you're going to paint them at least a lance to at least look like they go together. A lance is 4 mechs. A star is 5 for the clans. So the next one, I'll see what the next one is. The next scenario is, I'll use the number of units, and I'll see if I can find some buildings. I don't think there are any buildings on this one, on these maps here, because this is the only maps that come with the game. Because I try not to buy more, and I'm trying to. If you just look at, so I've got the Commander's Edition, which is the full starter kit rules. No, it's more of the same, I think. Yep, no buildings. They might have some buildings in here in the Mercenaries, because in the Mercenaries it's kind of cool. You get little counters for, but not plastic, but counters, chits for armor and armor, artillery, infantry. So that's kind of cool. So I might look into that as I move on, again, to use more stuff. Trying to use all the special abilities. I'll see what all the special stuff is in the quick start rules, which is what I used. Try to use all the stuff there that I can, like the buildings and all that. I don't think they have weather effects. And then I did use the support card, so I had some artillery and airstrikes. I'll change up the cards that I use again. So these cards are command pilot abilities, and they have a few abilities there. So that was fun to do that. Basically, I need to get 2 different abilities, but basically these 2 can move through the woods for free. It's interesting. There is no difference between heavy and light. In what I was reading so far, some of the videos I watched, there is a difference. I think there's a difference in the full, but not in Alpha Strike. So I don't know. But you could make it in full. I think it's so. Like for example, let's say they're all light. You can't fire once there's 3 woods in the way. You can't fire. It's like a hindrance in some games. Like in some games that you hit a number and you can't fire through it. So there's so many woods that it blocks your view. The mechs can really see each other quite well. Like you only get a partial cover if you're behind a hill, if you're right behind it. If you're out here and you're way out here, then you don't get that partial cover. So it's pretty interesting. You get some intervening terrain here with trees because it's messy, but I think it's interesting you don't get it here. I'm not quite sure why that is. It definitely simplifies it for sure. But hiding back here, I didn't realize that was a 4, but so you could hide back here, which is what that guy did initially, and then they moved around. So that was quite fun. The minis, I've had these on my channel before, because it's been my 5th or 6th or 7th or 100th time. I had some of the original Alpha Strike learning videos, and they were nasty compared to what some people have done, and it has a ton of views. So anyway, there you go again. What'll be interesting is I'll probably post this as private and see if I actually play it a lot. And if I do, then maybe I'll make a playlist and post a bunch of them at one time, or maybe one day at a time. I don't know. All right, that's that. That's the game. Alpha Strike, just Alpha Strike, beginner set, using cards, special abilities, battlefield support, and we'll try another game a little bit later. All right, see ya.